Last one, lock. Thank you for braving the weather. Big adventures. So I've released on the website. You can book. I sent the link on the WhatsApp, but book for the next time. And today we're just going to take it easy, a little bit of flowing, but we're going to do some restorative poses, breath work, and just a bit more the key. So we're going to start. So lie back, bend your knees, knock your knees together. Have one hand to your heart and one hand to your stomach. Taking a deep inhale. And a deep exhale. And now feeling the whole length of your spine. So just being aware of where it does touch the mat or where it doesn't. And no need to adjust. Noticing the curve at the back of the neck. The pressure between the shoulder blades. And then the curving up in the lower back. Starting to bring your focus to the counting of your breath. So we're going to inhale for 5 and exhale for 7. And noticing as you inhale and you bring that yogic breath deep into the bottom of the lungs, just noticing the rising up of your stomach on the inhale and how that breath spreads through the side ribs, lifts the chest. And then on the exhale, feel that softening, releasing down into the mat and the navel drawing down. And then bringing your attention to the top and the bottom of the breath. So feeling the breath as if it's a wave. So the sensation of the inhale, that rising up to the crest of the wave. And then feeling the connection of the inhale to the exhale as you then slide down towards the trough of the wave as you exhale. Just feeling that connection. And keeping your attention on counting 5 in and the 7 out. Keeping your eyes closed, bring your arms by your side and bring your feet and your thighs parallel, ready for bridge. So you're going to continue the inhale to 5 and the exhale for 7, but you're going to come into your flowing bridge. So as you inhale, slowly lift your hips and bring your arms overhead, touch down behind you. And then exhaling for 7, lowering down through the vertebrae, hips down and bring the arms by your side. So nice and steady to the count of 5 as you lift and the count of 7 as you lower. And then pausing when your hips are down and your arms are by your side. Be aware of the connection to your core. So as you lift up, you want to draw the navel in, feel like you press the lower back down almost, and then pause at the top of the breath where your arms are overhead and your hips are up. Just staying, you can keep breathing, but you're just staying in the inhale part of the movement, and then exhale, long and slow, bring your arms down by your side. And then you're going to hug your knees into your chest. And then bring your feet down. You're going to stay lying down, but you're going to bring your feet into butterfly. So soles of the feet together, let the knees roll out and slightly tuck the tailbone or towards your heels. And then we're going to start to move your knees slowly up and down. So just flapping butterfly wings, so they don't have to touch. You just want the little flutters. So the knees might slowly move up, maybe 3 or 4 inches, and then squeeze your glutes to draw the knees down. So just very gently, slowly. Okay, and then you're going to hug your knees in, and you're going to rock 3 times backwards and forwards until you rock to sit. Try and get up to the shoulders, use your core. Okay, and then we're going to sit back up on your block and come into butterfly seated. Soles of the feet press in towards each other. You've got a bit more gravity here to help press out towards the knees. So holding on to your ankles, your shins, lift up your chest. Gently press your hips towards your heels. And then squeeze your glutes a little. See if you can even by a millimetre, take the knees a little bit further, or the thighs down that little bit more. And then you're going to hinge forward, press your elbows into your legs, hinge forward, and then start to curl inwards. But trying to keep almost like you're tipping forward slightly, so you feel the inner groins lengthening. And then inhale, coming up, hands to the outside, bring your knees together. And then we're going to come off the block, legs out in front of you. Bend your knees a little, flex the toes, and you can have your hands just slightly behind your hips. And then we're going to lift our chest up, and you're going to lean yourself towards your thighs. And then, hands need to be a bit further forward. Walk your heels slightly away, and you're going to push as you're leaning forward, draw your navel in, push through the heels and start to try and straighten the legs. And if they don't go all the way down, just stay there, just feeling into the back of the thighs. And then sit up, straighten your legs completely, flex at the feet, so that slight internal rotation of the thighs. Inhale, bring your arms up, and you want to press through your sitting bones. So you press down with your bottom, lift up through the crown of your head. And then we're going to hinge forward. So try to keep the front of the pelvis almost pushing it forward, and then start to curl inwards. Rest the hands. Press the back of the thighs down. And then as you inhale, lift your chest slightly, look forward towards your toes. And then you're reaching, squeeze your core a little more, and then exhale. Soften, fold. Once more, inhale, slightly lift. Look forward, get as long as you can, and then exhale, fold. And then inhale, coming up. Bring your hands behind you. So fingertips pointing towards your bottom, and then hug your elbows towards each other. Point your toes. So you want that internal rotation. So the knees and toes the knees are pointing up. And then keep that hug as you lift the elbows, lift your chest, and then squeeze your bottom, lift your hips. Try and touch your toes down, but keep looking down your legs towards your toes. Keep that internal rotation of the thighs. Feel the front of those shoulders. And then exhale, lowering down. Take the legs wide. And then hands behind you. Press the heels down and almost accelerate through the ball of your feet so you can feel your thighs engaging. Squeeze your kneecaps. And then you're pushing with your hands to almost push your hips slightly forward as you push through the balls of your feet. So feeling into the inner thighs. And then walk the hands in a little, reach your chest forward so you can feel your torso is leaning forward and your thighs are almost rolling externally. Feel into the inner thigh. And then inhale, come back up. We're going to cross at the shins for our hip opener. So not at the ankles, you want to cross deeply at the shins, flex the feet. So draw the toes towards each other, take your hips back, So the leg that's in front is in line with the edge of the mat. And then sit up tall, hinge forward and reach your hands forward, and then relax your head down. Walk your hands away, almost gripping the floor, trying to drag yourself towards your hands. Use your breath. And then walking hands back. Lean back, change to the other legs in front. Flex at the ankles. Sit up tall, hinge forward. So keep the core engaged. Let the head or the gaze go down. And then press down through those finger pads. Drag yourself towards the hands. Okay, and then walk hands back up. Take your towel roll. And you're going to come to lie on your front. And then roll slightly onto your right side, because you're going to bring the left knee up and you're going to put the towel roll so the knee is propped. You could even have the shin, but it's going to be like an stutter at a slight angle. And then you're going to turn yourself back round, so your straight leg, the knee is facing down, so you're not rolled onto that side. So, and then rest your head on your arms. Your head can turn to the side or whatever's comfortable. So just stretching through that inner hip. Does anyone not have a towel roll or a satisfactory one? Helen, it's the other way. So line your front. So see, Caroline here, you want the left knee. So bring the, and we'll fold it like that. So line your front and then bring the left knee up, this knee, and that leg straight. Behind. So just lie straight, yeah. And then this leg. You're going to roll over. So you want to lie flat. Turn onto your front. Yeah, there you go. So just prop that knee and then trying to roll your hip down slightly, this left hip. And down, yeah, so it's opening through the inner hip. And just rest there. Okay. So these are what are called yin poses, as opposed to my general flow classes are more yang, which is lighting the body up. They're getting the energy going, and these are to slow things down and come into a long held pose that can help the body release. So you're trying to use your exhale to allow this to soften. Normally we'd have a lot more props in a yin class, so we're doing best we can, but so it's almost like half a butterfly. We're getting a bit of length into the front of the left hip. Okay, then you're going to take your knee off the towel and lie flat, and then we're going to stretch the quad. So on the same leg, lie on your front, and then you're going to bend the left knee and take your hand to the foot. So let the elbow bend, draw the heel towards your bottom and gently press your hips down. Trying to get long in the front of the thigh, the quads. Now straighten that arm, push the foot away. So hold on to the foot. But now as you push the foot away, you resist with the arm, the hand. And then exhale, release. Then we're going to do the hip opener on the other side. So lie on your front, have your towel roll to prop the knee. So the right knee rests and then turn back. So you want to lift your hips slightly to get the left leg lying flat as much as possible. And then bring that knee straight so you're lying flat, and then we're going to stretch the quad. So bend your right leg, take hold of the foot. And firstly, with the leg relaxed, you draw the heel in, keep the elbows soft. And then keeping hold of the foot, press the foot away and resist with the hand. Press your hips down. And then release. Tuck your toes under, palms down, come up into downward dog. We're going to walk the dog, but slowly. So you're straightening one leg, drawing the heel down, pausing a little, and then changing to the other side. So one knee bent. Just feel into the heels, the calves. And then you're going to lift the right leg up, three-legged dog. So to draw the left heel down towards the mat. Press the floor away with your palms. And fire up that right thigh. So make sure you're trying to almost push, either point or flex the foot, but push the foot away from you. And then exhale, right foot down into down dog. Walk your dog again. And then inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Right heel draws down. Strong through the left thigh. And then exhale to down dog. And then you're going to roll forward into high plank. And then drop your knees down behind your hips. You're going to take the right leg straight. So we're going to stretch the calf. So you're going to rock backwards, like you're pushing through the ball of the right foot. Keep the knee cap squeezing. Push the floor away with your palms. So you can feel your shoulder blades spread. And then start to just take the weight off and then press back. So little pulses. And then lift up into down dog. Roll forward into high plank. So drop your knees behind your hips. Straighten the left leg. And then press back through the ball of the left foot with a straight leg. So keep the foot down. Oh yeah, I thought your foot was off the ground. Okay, and then lifting up into down dog. Come into child's pose, take your knees wide, toes touching. Settling the forearms down, rest your head. And then activate your arms. So meaning straight arms, lift your elbows, press down through your palms and push your hands away from you. Feel the hips drawing closer to your heels. And then lift your head, walk your hands over to the right. Bring the left hand on top of the right hand and get long through that left side of your body. So draw the left hip back. You just rest the head down again. And slightly rolling those left ribs up so you feel the length through the side body. And then inhale, walk your hands all the way over to the left. Press the palms down, roll those right ribs slightly open and draw the hip back so get nice and long on the right side. And then inhale, come back to center and come up into tabletop. Tuck your toes under, sit back through your heels. So for those of you who are slightly later, you might not have heard, I'm not sure when I said it, but we're just going to take it gentle. We've got kids at home or stuff going on this next couple of weeks or whatever, so it's good to change the tempo a little bit. Okay, come up onto the balls of your feet. Hands on the mat, just rock onto the toes. So don't drop the knees all the way down, just rock backwards and forwards, stretching through the soles of the feet. Okay, and then drop your knees all the way down, come up. A little camel pose, or partly camel, but we're going to gently press the hips forward so you feel almost a straight line in the front of the hip and thighs, but keep a light tone in your bottom, draw up through your core, and then prisoner arms. Inhale, and then exhale, you're going to lean back, but don't break in the middle, and then come forward again. So really feeling the strength in the front of the thighs and the hips. Come forward. So do 2 more. So you don't have to go far just to really feel the muscles are working, but they're at length. And then you can bend, flatten the feet. So tops of the feet down. And just rest the thighs a minute here. And then we're going to come up again. This time your toes are untucked. Same thing. Inhale and then exhale as you go back. So it's a little bit harder. If you prefer to do it the other way, you can tuck your toes. So keeping the drishti, your soft focus, straight ahead. We'll do one more. Okay, and then bend palms down, lift your hips up into down dog. Gonna inhale, lift the left leg up, three-legged dog. And then bend the left knee, roll the knee up to the ceiling. Press the floor away with your palms, draw the right heel down. You're looking under your left armpit, so trying to get long on the left side of your body. And then exhale, come back to down dog. Other side, inhale, right leg lifts. Straight first, so three-legged dog. Then bend the knee and roll that knee up to the ceiling, and the foot goes over to the other side. So you're trying to stack the hips. Exhale, come back to down dog. And we're going to 3 times, we're going to ripple forward into high plank. So really draw in through your core, hug your forearms towards each other. So when you're in high plank, you're puffing out between the shoulder blades. And then lift your hips as you draw in through your core, come back into down dog. And then roll forward again. Don't let your hips go down, it's high plank. So come up, come up, come up. And then up into down dog, okay. So you're trying to keep in a straight line or your hips slightly higher rather than letting them sink down, that's it. And then press between your shoulder blades. And then into down dog. Okay, and then drop your knees. Sit back on your heels. Take your arms wide. Do eagle arms. So you're going to cross left over right. Bend, and if you can, you'll bring the palms together. Otherwise, just keep the back of the forearms pressing together. Lift your elbows up to shoulder height. Draw in through your core. And then you're going to draw your chin down. Squeeze your elbows towards each other. So feeling into the shoulders. And then draw your navel in. On exhale, you're going to curl inwards. So draw the elbow towards your belly button, but keep squeezing the elbows and hands towards each other. So feel that stretch moving down your spine. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, take your arms wide. Other way, so now right over left. Lift those elbows up. Draw your chin down, just noticing where the stretch moves. So the chin is down, but also slightly tucked. So just feeling. Draw your navel in, your pelvic floor, and then you're going to curl the elbows in towards your tummy button. Noticing where that stretch moves to. And then inhale, coming up. Exhale, release the arms wide, and then come back into tabletop. We're going to circle the right knee forward as wide as you can, just getting that good mobility through the hips, nice and steady, and back the other way. And then come back to tabletop, pause for a moment, same leg, so right leg. We're now going to do far hydrant, peeing dog. You're going to lift the leg out and then bring the knees to touch. Squeeze, so trying to have the shin almost like knees and ankle at the same height. Try not to sag through the left elbow, so push the floor away. And then bring the knees to touch or come back to tabletop. And then left side, you're going to circle the left knee forward. Just noticing, does one side move easier than the other? And then change direction. And then rest in tabletop. Then far hydrant, lifting the knee, left knee out to the side. Flex that ankle and bring knees to touch. It's your glute medius, your outer buttock. Okay, and then you're going to come into rabbit. I was just thinking about, I don't think we've done rabbit for, don't know for how long, but you're going to tuck your toes under and then bring your hands back a little because you're going to tuck your chin and bring the top of your head onto the mat. And then you're going to hold onto your heels. Actually, it's almost the crown of the head you want to try and get down, because then you're just going to rock a little bit forward so you feel the stretch through your shoulders, but you don't want to crick your neck. So that's why you want the chin tucked. So almost you're trying to roll onto the back of your head and lift your bottom up. Okay, not a good one. Okay. Okay, come up. Yeah, so it's what we don't want is this, because it's crunching. We're trying to get split, so it's almost like drawing the chin, tucking the chin. When you hold and rock, it's like you feel a little stretch moving up to the cervical vertebrae. But if you can't get the tuck, then it's almost like don't do it, because it's not beneficial, anything around the neck. So if you feel that you just got kind of stuck with your head there and it's not doing anything to the back of your neck, then we can do something else. Okay, palms down, come up into down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up, three-legged dog, and then roll forward into high plank. Hover your left knee under your hip with the foot raised, and then you're going to take the left foot out to the right. So it's going to go under you. And then flex the foot so the outer edge of the foot is down. And then spin on the ball of the right foot and bring the right heel down. And then come back. So other side. So lift the right leg up first, and then bring the knee to hover under your hip with the foot raised, and then bring the leg out to the left and flex the foot so you're pressing the outside edge of the foot down. But drop the right heel, the left heel, sorry. Other way. So you're going to spin into the ball of the foot. So press, yeah. Okay, and then come back. So you can, look, we're going to go next stage. So it's just to understand what your feet are doing. So as Jenny was showing really nicely, but we're going to, you roll forward, make sure you're in high plank, you're pressing the floor away so you feel strong through your shoulders, engaged through the core. The knee hovers, and then bring the foot out, and then look at my back foot. It's almost like it's a warrior two. So you drop the heel down. So now there's an intensity here. So you can stay here or you can open up. But you want to use your feet in the, obviously the back foot, you would need to drop the heel so the foot is like in Warrior Two, but you need to make sure that you're pressing down through the outside, the foot that's sticking out. You want to flex at the ankle and press the outside edge of the foot down so that it's not just kind of here, it's like a knife edge so that you can feel the length of the muscles all the way up the outside of the leg. So when you drop the heel, you can stay here if that's enough. It doesn't have to be long, or keep that action because you'll feel it lifts your hips up. If you press through your feet and lift up, it's very strong here. You might find to change the angle helps. And then rest. So we'll try it once more. So you can go only as far as you feel. So if you don't want to take one hand off, then you don't need to. But you might find it's actually easier. And you don't need to stay long. So firstly, we're going to start in three-legged dog, lift the right leg up. Then hover that knee under you and take the foot out to the left. Press through the outside edge of the foot and drop the right heel down. Yes. And then lift the hand up if you can. And then exhale, bring the palms down. Step back, you're in down dog. If you need to take a break in between, just drop your knees. But otherwise, you'll do the other side. And don't forget to use your breath. Well done. Beautiful, everyone. And then, good. Exhale, and then come into child's pose. So it's often nicer if you need to pay attention to a pose to actually separate it from a flow and be doing gentle stuff. And then when you come to something that's strong, you've got a bit more energy to focus on the alignment. Okay, you're going to come back to tabletop. Lift up into down dog. And then we're going to come into lizard. So you're going to lift the right leg up, roll forward into high plank and bring the right knee to the outside of your right shoulder, and then bring the foot down to the outside of the hand. So it's almost like slow motion to really, so it's the foot down, lizard. That's it. Then drop the back knee behind the hip. So don't bring it forward because you won't get the stretch. So nice and long, go take the left foot back and drop the knee behind the hip. Flatten the back foot. And then you can stay here, or for now we will stay here because we're going to have the toes pointing forward, and you're going to hug the knee into the shoulder and almost resist with the shoulder. So you're pressing the knee in, feel the inner thigh. And then you're going to turn the right foot out. So the ball of the foot goes out, and then let your thigh come away from your shoulder so you can roll onto the outside edge of that front foot. And then you're going to take the back knee back a little because we want to feel into the lunge. So if you want to make it stronger, you lift that back knee. But otherwise, just lift the knee, go nice and long, and then drop the knee down and flatten the foot because you want length. And then reach your chest forward. You might need your block, but if you can, you're going to come down onto your forearms, but keep that thigh rolling out in the knee in the direction of the toes. And if your inside arm, like the left, right arm is lifted, then come onto the block. You can put your forearms on the block. But just feeling into it. You can drop the back knee if you want to. Do you feel you can come lower, Kieran? I think you can. You can put your forearms on there. Yep. Is that enough for you, Jenny, or you need to? Yeah. Then have you got? Oh, you haven't got block. Hold on. So use your breath. And then bring your forearms onto that. Is that enough, Rachel? That's fine. Yeah, okay. That's good. Yeah, okay. And then inhale, come back out of that. We're going to come onto the other side. So if lizard isn't for you, then I think there are a few of you that it wasn't comfortable. So you can actually lie on your back. You can have one knee bent, and then you can draw the thigh to the outside of your leg. You can even do half happy baby like this. So that's similar. If there's something about knees or hips that doesn't like the normal version. But otherwise, come into down dog, and then you're going to step your left foot forward to the outside of your hand. And firstly, keep the toes pointing forward, sink your hips, hug the knee in, and you can drop the back knee. And then turn the ball of the foot off the mat or to the edge of the mat. So turn the foot out, keep the heel down. Yeah. And then let the knee, the thigh fold out if you come onto the outer edge of that front foot. And if you can come lower, come lower. Otherwise, just stay on your palms. Was that your pain in your lower back that you couldn't do it on the right side? Yeah. Yeah, so it's good to notice that, because even maybe, you know, when you wake up in the morning, just doing a little rock side to side, hug your knees in and just loosen up the lower back, because that's probably where, is it that side that you had pain? Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So working on just gently releasing it. Yeah. Okay, and then step back into down dog. And then we're going to come to sit. Have your block and your towel roll. We'll do the shoulder opening. So towel roll between your shoulder blades. So have your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, and then have your block at the top to rest your head. And then let the elbows just drop, and the hands can be turned up, face down, whatever. But we're trying to feel that lift of the chest, let the shoulders relax. And these restorative poses are where your breath is important to, you're not controlling it, but really noticing the longer exhale, because that's where the release comes. You're telling the body to soften. If you wanted to change the leg position, you can bring your feet into butterfly or straighten your legs or just knock your knees together, whichever feels good for your hips, your lower back. Okay, and then you're slowly going to come to sit. So you might want to roll to the side first. And then you're going to lie back with your knees bent and bring the towel roll to your lower back. So just the top of the pelvis, the lower back. And we're going to straighten the legs a little here, but if it feels really uncomfortable in the lower back, so you kind of want it not right on the lower back, just to the bony part of the pelvis, but not right near your tailbone, and straighten your legs. So it's lengthening through the front of the hips. But if you feel a pinch in your lower back, you can bend your knees and just turn it in and let the pelvis rock back. So it's a little bit of a lat stretch. So whichever works, two different stretches. And then bend your knees. You're going to come into legs up the wall pose. So now your towel roll is going to be nearer your tailbone. So you lift up into bridge to move the towel roll towards your tailbone. and then lift your legs up. So depending on where you move the towel roll, you shouldn't have to hold your legs up. So if you feel you're holding them, push the towel roll away from you a little bit. Look like you're holding your legs. Are they resting? Do you feel, is that relaxing? No. Okay. Put your feet down, lift your hips up, move that. And now about here. So when you lift your legs up, actually push this away from you a little. So you want to tilt your pelvis back slightly so your legs stay up. Are they staying up on their own? Yeah. You don't have to hold them now. Okay, good. Are you holding yours up? No, good. I wasn't sure if you were bracing. And either stay in this pose or you can come into Shavasana for the last couple of minutes. So put your warm things on.